Deep problems like those in Europe are managed, not ultimately resolved. And this was an important European summit, but it will not be the last European summit. There are details that need to be filled in. How will the ESFS be levered? How will that $1.4 trillion be delivered? What will the path of Italian fiscal policy be in particular? Is there a growth strategy? In the United States, we resolved our systemic financial issues, but we've suffered from a lack of growth. Is there a growth strategy for Europe, or is it simply a matter of avoiding financial collapse? Have the banks been adequately recapitalized? There's been a lot of questioning of the European stress tests. These are all issues that markets will be watching going forward. I think the good news in today's announcement is less its concrete details, of which there are not so many, and the ones there are can be questioned. I think the good news is the rather clear political commitment to stand behind the financial system.
And you mentioned that the EFSF, Europe's going to need money, either through that or through the special purpose vehicle we think they're going to establish. Is the U.S., do you think the U.S. is going to be in a position where they're going to have to provide money for that or contribute? Should we be doing that?
I think that's very unlikely. I think given the magnitude of our own debts, but more fundamentally, given a principle of regional responsibility and given the existence of a very strong IMF, of which the United States is the largest shareholder and so contributes indirectly whenever the IMF contributes, I'd expect that to be the larger vehicle of support from outside Europe focused through the IMF.
Let's talk about the growth strategies here in the U.S. We have some growth numbers out. It was better than expected in the third quarter. Is the risk of recession or falling back into recession now fully off the table? What's the outlook for 2020?
I don't think so. I think as long as you have an economy that isn't growing at an escape velocity rate, isn't growing at a rate where jobs are being created rapidly enough that unemployment is coming down at a significant rate, perhaps of 250,000, 300,000 jobs a month. Until that kind of milestone has been achieved, you still have the prospect that an adverse shock or a loss of confidence could tip the economy back. But I think the risks have been reduced.